Hey, I'm Russ Frushtick, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite games of 2017. With me, as always, is Link. You're supposed to... did you have any picks for 2017? Any favorite games? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Let's just start. We'll start. Okay, here we go. Picks. Yep. Just... First up, we have Destiny 2. Obviously, since launch, Destiny 2 has gotten a little bit of flack for not necessarily having the most engaging endgame, but I think the original Destiny suffered hugely from having this really tedious, drawn-out introduction. Really, that first 30 to 60 hours really was like a brutal endeavor, whereas in Destiny 2, I thought they really mastered the feeling of increasing power and gorgeous environments and crazy weapons and just a very satisfying 60-hour experience. It's kind of hard to knock a game for the post-game that happens after 60 hours as much as people have, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people are just so in love with this game that they want it to be the best possible game it can be. I think they made it a really good base game, and really at this point it's just a matter of perfecting the remainder of it. But I had so much fun playing Destiny this year. It's really the raid and the story and all the strike missions and everything like that really felt terrific, and I look forward to getting back to it once they've spent a little more time finalizing it. Next up, I want to talk about Fire Emblem Heroes. It's kind of ridiculous because I fully grant it's a mobile game, and a lot of people give a lot of flack to mobile games, rightly so. And this one's even a free-to-play mobile game, but I think Nintendo and Intelligent Systems did an amazing job capturing the spirit of the Fire Emblem franchise, being like a very intense turn-based strategy game, while also making it extremely playable on mobile devices. It was simplified, but not to the point of a game like, say, Animal Crossing was, where just a lot of the magic is sort of torn out. Fire Emblem Heroes feels like a much more focused experience than even like the normal Fire Emblem games, and I think they did just an amazing job boiling down what people love about it. Now, obviously, there are some a little bit icky free-to-play elements, and if you don't have self-control, you can end up spending a ton of money in this game. But I think overall, it's extremely generous if you have some self-control, and extremely fun. Really could not recommend it more. It is absolutely my favorite mobile game of the year, and one of the best mobile games I've ever played. Next, we have Super Mario Odyssey. It's hard to imagine anyone coming away from playing Super Mario Odyssey and not absolutely adoring it. It is such a charming, just adorable, fun, silly game that had so much thought put into it. The biggest thing for me is that there's a feeling that I think a lot of people had when they first played Super Mario 64. That feeling of fun that you get just by running around in circles and using Mario's abilities to slide down banisters and all sorts of stuff like that. And I haven't really felt that since Mario 64. Obviously, Galaxy had some moments like that, but by and large, most of the Mario games have felt very similar. And Super Mario Odyssey felt like them taking that idea to the next level, that running around the world should be the best part of this game. And obviously there's tough platforming and fun enemies and different things to transform into, stuff like that. But that alone, for me, was just such a grabbing, interesting mechanic that like just picking up the controller was engaging for me. And I really couldn't put it down. I played straight through to the end and absolutely loved it. And it kind of depresses me how long it'll probably be until the next Mario installment. But for right now, I'm definitely enjoying Super Mario Odyssey. Next up, I want to talk about PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PUBG came out of nowhere for me. I think I certainly initially dismissed it, probably because it has the worst title known to mankind. But obviously, since we started playing it weekly as part of Awful Squad, it's been a big part of Polygon video and my life overall. I think it basically does what games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original, did insofar as reimagining what a shooter can be, and how it can play and what it makes you feel. The level of intensity that grows increasingly throughout each minute that goes by, as well as that heart-pounding moment when you get within 10 spots to the top, is really indescribable. If you haven't played it yourself, you can only sort of glimpse it when you watch other people playing it, but it is just amazing. And it's incredible because the game is, as I've mentioned, pretty broken, pretty buggy. Definitely has some issues with it. Obviously 1.0 will fix some of that stuff, but overall it's not a clean game. But what it is a really satisfying game, a game that I can come back to over and over again. It doesn't require a lot of preamble. You just jump right in and you can have some fun with your friends. Really excited to see how this game grows, as well as how other companies sort of tackle this brand new genre that has been introduced to shooters. I think the next 10 years are going to be defined by it. And now my favorite game of the year, predictable though it may be, is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I talked a little bit about Mario and the fun of sort of running around in circles. I think Zelda masters this even more. Not only is it fun to sort of climb around as Link and explore these environments, having him interact with the world and physics and mess with enemies, AI, and stuff like that makes this game just so easy to come back to, and so easy to lose dozens of hours without you even noticing it. The idea that is propagated in games like Skyrim or Fallout, the idea that you just want to see over the next hill, is even more focused and precise in Zelda, because it's not necessarily attached to quests, although there are quests and little missions and stuff like that. You have this feeling that you have like mastery over this world, and the way you do that is not because someone gave you like a potion to give you more health, or whatever. It's more about, hey, I see a wall that I can climb up if I'm careful enough and I look for the right handholds and footholds. That level of control over your environment and direct interaction with your environment is just perfectly encapsulated in Breath of the Wild, in addition to having great puzzles and great enemies and just gorgeous graphics, and the fact that you can play it on a subway if you want to. Mario, I think, is a very well-crafted Mario game, but at its heart, I would say 60 to 70% of Super Mario Odyssey is a Mario game. And for Breath of the Wild, it kind of feels like 70% of Zelda is not a traditional Zelda game. It's something entirely different. Obviously, the original Zelda game encouraged exploration, and they all have. But the loop that they've introduced here just feels like a totally new experience, and an experience that I really am looking forward to getting back to time and time again. They looked at the work in the past, they looked at games like Skyward Sword, and realized, hey, maybe people don't want a guided experience. Maybe they want the freedom to go where they want and do what they want. And they've just totally nailed it with Zelda Breath of the Wild. So absolutely thrilled with this game. It's a game I've spent over 100 hours in and could easily spend 100 more happily. And just so looking forward to seeing where this franchise goes from here. So those were my picks of 2017. You were actually in one of those, right? I don't know what to do. Like, seriously, like, we got to be grown-ups about this. I don't know. Like, I can't do this anymore. We're trying to do a job. I get it. But, like, how am I supposed to deal with this? Like, what do you want me to do? Seriously, what do you want me to do? No, I'm done.